Hello everyone. Today we will be treating adjective in our grammar class, and we'll be learning a lot of interesting facts about adjectives. But before we start, let's look at our learning objectives. Upon the conclusion of this lesson, I should be able to describe objects and persons around me, identify 3 types of adjectives, use them in expression. Adjectives are words used to describe noun and pronoun. Some examples of adjectives are soft, fluffy, repulsive, few, this, those. Now, when we learned this adjective, or when you learned this adjective in your lower class, you were meant to know that adjectives, examples of adjectives include beautiful, handsome, big, small, and the rest. But in today's lesson, we'll be learning that adjectives are more than what we already know it is. Note, an adjective basically differentiates a noun or pronoun from other nouns around in terms of color, shape, age, quality, number, and origin. Now, what I'm simply saying here is that for you to identify adjective is very simple. Let's assume you have 3 bags, and that 3 bags, they have different colors, different shapes, different quality, different times you have bought them. Maybe one was bought recently and the other one was bought years ago or thereabouts. Then you also have where it is made. For instance, the first was made in China, the second one Nigeria, the third made in US or any other place. So all these things, when you are asked to differentiate this bag or to identify this bag, you begin to see things like the blue bag is mine, the old bag is yours, and the China bag or the Ghana must go bag is for Ade. So all those things you use to differentiate one noun or pronoun from the other are called adjectives. Some examples: the charming lady is our neighbor. The charming lady is our neighbor. Now, the underlined words in the sentences are adjectives. The charming lady, the charming simply describes the lady, is our neighbor. Our describes the neighbor. I have a blue light coat. I have a blue light coat. A blue light describes the coat. Remember what we said: adjective describes a noun or pronoun. Now, and also the explanation I gave before now, that adjective differentiates noun through the features. Daddy recalled the good old days as he chatted with his friends. Now, good old days describe the days. Then his friend also tells us his classmates also tells us whose classmates Daddy is chatting with. It's not yours, but his classmates. So you see the difference coming out. My school bag is the posh red bag. My school bag is the posh red bag. Now, my school is, though even the school is not underlined, but there is something about English language. At one point, a word can serve as a verb, a noun, or an adjective or adverb. So in this particular sentence, school is no longer functioning as a noun, rather it is functioning as an adjective. So my school bag is the posh red bag. Now the adjective in this sentence is my school, then describing the bag. Now my school is an adjective describing the bag, describing the type of bag. It's not my church bag, it's not my picnic bag, it's not my any other type of bag, but my school bag. So my school is describing the bag, and that makes my school the adjective in this sentence. And also we have the posh red bag. The posh red is also an adjective. Posh red is also an adjective. So let's look at other slides. Types of adjective. There are 7 types of adjectives, namely distributive, demonstrative, interrogative, quantitative, descriptive, possessive, and article. Yes, articles are adjective. Now in today's lesson, what we'll be doing is we'll pick out of that 7, we'll just pick 3, and we give the definition, the meaning, and the definition, the sentence, and examples. Distributive adjective. This adjective describes or single out one individual or an item in a group. This adjective describes or single out one individual or an item in a group. Now, example of distributive adjective: each, every, either, neither, any, some. Now, I know you'll be surprised at these examples of adjective. These are ordinary things you never knew are adjective. Yes, they are adjectives. Let's look at the sentence. I want each of you to conduct a research. I want each of you to conduct a research. Each describes you. So you see, I want each of you to conduct a research. Then the second sentence is every child is entitled to education. Every child is entitled to education. Every describes the child. And the third one is choose either the cake or the meat pie. Now, either is simply telling you to choose one from the other, and either describes the cake or the meat pie. Now the fourth one is neither. Neither you nor your brother swept the room. Neither you nor your brother swept the room. Neither describes you nor your brother. You see, neither describes you nor your brother. So these are adjectives. Then as we step further, we shall see more. And also there's an adjective in the sentence, the last sentence I read, that is neither you nor your brother. So your brother, I won't go to that, but we'll see much of it later. Is there anyone at home? Is there anyone at home? Any describes the one. Describes the one. So any is an adjective. I want some help with my homework. I want some help with my homework. I want some help with my homework. Now, the adjectives in this sentence are written in multiple colors, though about some are written, you can see we have each, every, either, neither. Your is written in white, any, Sam and my. Now, the other ones, the my and your, they are not among the distributive adjectives. So we shall see more of it in a later slide. Demonstrative adjectives. Demonstrative adjectives, this adjective describe which noun or pronoun the speaker is referring to. It describes which noun or pronoun the speaker is referring to. Examples of demonstrative adjectives, we have this. This refers to singular noun or pronoun that is close to the speaker. These refer to singular noun or pronoun that is close to the speaker. That is used to refer to singular noun that is far. More. These refers to plural noun close to the speaker. These refer to plural noun close to the speaker. Those describes plural noun far from the speaker. Describes plural noun far from the speaker. Let's see. Sentence. How we can use them in expression. You see, there is something about English language. When you know the concept, then you'll be showed how to use it in your communication as you progress. Now, looking at this, you will agree with me that at one point or the other, you have used this in your expression. This is the room. This is the room, showing that the room is quite close to you. Then, that is her storybook. That is her storybook. That is her storybook is showing you that the storybook is far, is a bit far from the speaker. Then these are my friends. Now you could see the are showing you that the distance and the adjective actually shows plural. These are my friends. Okay, then those are your shoes, showing you that the object or the shoe is also a bit far. So let's see a more illustrated diagram of what I have just said. Now, on this slide, we have ne and fa. Singular, this. Plural, this. Far, that. Those, far. So you see what I just said in the other slide through using the expression or the sentences. Now, you could see from the diagram that this is close to the speaker's hand. This is a bit, it is close, but it's plural, it's more than one. Then those is far, that is also far. So you see, this and this talk about objects that are close to us, while that and those talk about objects that are far from us. The only difference is among the words is the closeness. So we go over to the possessive adjectives. Possessive adjectives are adjectives that show ownership. Ownership. They are usually placed before the noun they describe. Examples. Oh my. We have my, your, his, her, its, our. My, your, is, her, its, our. So, and we also have their. You see, These are possessive adjectives. Sentence. My phone is on her table. My phone is on her table. My is a possessive adjective. Her is also a possessive adjective. Now let's look at the next example or sentence. Lulu saw your notes with Ade. Lulu saw your notes with Ade. Lulu is a noun, but your is a possessive adjective describing notes. Now let's move to the next one. She missed her friends, or she missed her friends. She missed her friends. Her describes the friend, so her is what? A possessive adjective. Joel left his lunch pack. Joel left his lunch pack. Joel left his lunch pack. His is a possessive adjective, showing that the lunch pack is for Joel. Then the last, the dog held its bone. The dog held its bone. It is a possessive adjective, showing that describing the bone, showing us whose bone it is or it was. So we have now come to the end of this lesson. I would like you to attempt some task. It's not a huge one though, it's just based on what we have learned so far. The first task here states, list the types of adjectives studied and provide 3 examples of each. Now what I'm simply saying, we have 7 types of adjective and we have studied about 3 of them. So if you know you don't really understand, please, I would advise you go back and listen to the slides again. Then having list the types and provided 3 examples of each, please construct 9 sentences with the examples. 9 sentences with the examples simply means that out of the adjective we studied, after providing them, you have quite enough words to accommodate my 9 sentences. Thank you, and do have a lovely day ahead.